Hi everyone, Bear from Bear Reads Books. Welcome back to my channel. Today is my first unhaul video, and I don't get rid of books lightly. In fact, I never get rid of books. So this is a big deal for me, and the new library means that I've got more space, but I still don't have enough space to put all of my books on shelves. So it's time for an unhaul. And the things that I'm unhauling fall into two general categories. So the stuff that I'm just never going to read, and the stuff that I have read or partially read that I just don't want anywhere near my library. Two pretty broad categories. And so I've been through all of the things that were, so what we've started with is I've been through all of the things that were on the old bookshelves, and just from those old bookshelves I've been able to clear an entire large moving box full of books that are going to be unhauled. I'm not going to show you the whole box, but I am going to show you some of the more prominent things that you'll recognise. So let's get to it, because we don't have much time. The major thing getting unhauled is YA. Sorry. I'm still a lover of YA fiction. I think there is some marvellous YA fiction out there. But I went down a rabbit hole with YA series last year and got burned, because not many of them I ended up actually liking or finishing. And one of them was the Illuminae Files. So the Illuminae Files 1, 2 is Gemina, and 3 is Obsidio. So I had all three on my shelf. Read the first one and loved it. Halfway through the second one and DNF'd it. And I am not going to read the third one ever. It's not that it was bad, it just became, it went on for far too long. And I think, and unfortunately these authors, Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, show up more often in my unhaul today. I've also got part one of the new series, the Aurora Cycle #1, called Aurora Rising, by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Started it, didn't get very far at all, decided to abandon, so it's going to be unhauled. I think my daughter may read that before it gets unhauled, but definitely getting it out of my house. And the Lifelike series by Jay Kristoff, read the first one, kind of liked it, thought the second one would redeem it. It didn't. It's got to go. So some really disappointing YA series, unfortunately all by the same author. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of books being unhauled. This got a lot of love in 2018. I read it 2019. Really wasn't my thing, and there's been some discussion between some of the booktubers that I follow and some of you probably listening about not liking this book, and I really didn't like this book, so got to go. So also on the list was a few double ups. So even when I'm looking at just 2 or 3 bookshelves and clearing them out, I keep finding two copies of the same thing. I found 2 copies of what is essentially a large book with a pretty unique cover, and I had exactly the same one with exactly the same cover. Strange that I bought it twice. I don't know how I did that, but got to get rid of one. Doesn't really matter which one. This is going The Nowhere Child by Christian White, another Australian mystery writer. I will be reading that later this year. I do really want to read it. I just had to. I had an old Wordsworth copy of Cervantes' Don Quixote. I told you earlier in the year I'm going to read Don Quixote, but I bought a brand new Penguin translation of Don Quixote, so I've got a fresh new one. This old Wordsworth Classics edition, I would have liked it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know, I'm a snob. I need to buy a new one. So I bought a new one. It was really cheap, and I'm just going to unhaul this one. Now we're on to the things that I just won't read. Oh, sorry, here's another double up. I had 2 copies of Last of the Mohicans. Again, same thing. I had a Penguin version and a Wordsworth Classics version. Unhauling Wordsworth. I know Natalie really likes her Wordsworth Classics covers. I'm more partial to the Penguin Classics, so I'm keeping my Penguins, unloading Wordsworth, and Last of the Mohicans by J. Fenimore Cooper. That's a double up. And then just the stuff that I am never ever going to read that I bought or came to. Some of them are second hand. This one I bought second hand. I had this grand idea of reading The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire in all of its volumes. What a stupid idea. I'm never going to read that. This is volume 1. This is 1 volume abridgment. So this is even abridged. I'm not going to read an abridged anything. So even at 944 pages, an abridged Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, I'm never going to read it. So it's going. And 2 things that I bought that I'm never going to read. This, The Passage by Justin Cronin. Kind of like I don't know, is it a vampire, is it a zombie? Something like that, about the decline of the civilization where the world's taken over by vampire zombies or something. Never got to it, and now I've just gone off the whole idea of vampire zombies. Whatever they are, I don't know. So, going to be unhauled. Sorry. And this obviously gets a lot of love, and I bought this thinking I'm going to read this, and my wife thought the same thing. We need to talk about Kevin by Lionel Shriver. And on reflection, I keep picking it up and reading the back and going, it sounds like a really difficult read. It sounds like not the kind of subject matter I really want to read. So I just think I'm going to unhaul it. Sorry, Lionel. Sorry, Kevin. And the other things that I'm unhauling are some graphic novels. I have some comic books and graphic novels. I do have this is only part of the collection. I do have a whole bunch of Walking Dead comics and graphic novels. And as an offshoot to that, I've got a whole bunch of Outcast graphic novels, comic books, whatever you want to call them, that I'm going to unhaul as well. I started collecting and reading through them just because the TV series of Outcast and Walking Dead obviously continuing, and I think Outcast got cancelled. But I started just going through those, and I don't really care if the book's different to the TV, so I just abandoned them. So they're going to be unhauled as well. On top of the ones I've just shown you, I have an entire box, like a big tea chest style box that I'm going to unhaul to the local charity shop. And that's just from 2 large bookcases that got cleaned out for stuff to go on the newly built library bookcases. And then I've still got all of those boxes in the garage that I need to clean out and do an unhaul as well. So sadly, there is going to be more unhaul videos. It's not something I like to do. It's something that makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it, and you're going to see more of these videos. This one was a really interesting one because these are the books that have been on display for years, and I'm thinking, I'm going to read that, I'm going to read that. No, I'm not. So out they go. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a real quick unhaul video. More to come. Have a great day, everyone, wherever you may be, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.